The January transfer window of 2022 has come and gone, and it has been a busy one. Rumours have flown around, and one hectic month in particular for Newcastle, who seem to be bracing for a future European takeover. Names like Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele and Alexander Isak looked like they were set for moves, but instead, I've compiled what I believe to be the top 10 transfers of this window. Whether you agree or not, let me know in the comments section, but these transfers are sure to make an impact at their new clubs. Here's something different. Before I get into the top 10, I think there are a few honourable mentions that didn't make the cut, but I believe will do quite well. Among the teams that spent quite a bit, you have Aston Villa, and their signing of Digne really alerted the rest of the Premier League that they mean business. Daniel Vaz to Atletico Madrid is also a signing quite under the radar, and Ndombele returning to Lyon where he initially made his mark. Van de Beek actually moving to a club where he can play, so Manchester United fans and the Premier League will finally get to see what he is capable of and whether it was wrong to have him benched for the past year and a half. Finally, I have Christian Eriksen to Brentford, which is just great to see for him personally, as well as the fact that the Bees really do have a gem in their hands. Now for the top 10, and we start right at the end with 10th, a signing that is probably the most underrated on this list. In 10th, I have Wout Weghorst to Burnley for a fee of £12 million. With the activation of Chris Wood's release clause by Newcastle, it seemed like Mr. Burnley himself had left the club, but you could dare to say that Sean Dyche has upgraded. No doubt that his goals have dried up this season, but the 6'5" striker got 20 goals last season with 8 assists in the Bundesliga, and at the age of 29, he is going to be hitting his peak. Burnley may have lost Chris Wood, but Weghorst's physicality and ability to shoot on sight is going to be something to watch in the Premier League for the rest of the season and several years to come. Sitting at 9th, a player that did not seem to be on the move until the last day, and that is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Barcelona on a free. A transfer saga and a half, with it flip-flopping all over the place on the last day. On, off, and then finally back on again. It was revealed that he wouldn't even cost a signing fee as Arsenal terminated his contract, and what a surprise that was. No striker except Lacazette and Nketiah. It seems they are in trouble, but that is a video for another day. Aubameyang may be 32, but the experience he will bring to this Barca attack cannot be disregarded. This being a Barcelona attack that has heavily upgraded this January and are pushing for those Champions League spots. Inconsistent, yes, but this may be the push to see him sail into the twilight of his career. The returning link-up of him and Ousmane Dembele is also something that many Barcelona fans would be looking forward to watching. In 8th, I have another Barcelona transfer, and that is Ferran Torres for £45 million from Manchester City. For a club in severe debt, one has to wonder how they have managed to make this many signings, but this man could be the key in bringing Barcelona back to the top. There is no doubt that a year and a half under Pep, although injury-ridden, has improved him, and he can now play anywhere across that front three. At 21, it seems him and Ansu Fati will be leading this Barcelona line for a while, and it's in good hands, you have to say. £45 million for a player like Torres is a steal, with him also having the necessary abilities to make it in La Liga, as he came from Valencia prior to Man City. Xavi will be looking to turn him into a superstar. In 7th, another young winger, but this time one headed to the Premier League, as I have Dejan Kulusevski to Spurs on an 18-month loan. Also at the tender age of 21, Conte will be able to mould him into a fantastic player, and with the ability he already has, you can truly see him becoming an elite winger. The fact that he will be able to play alongside one of the world's top wingers at the moment in Heung-min Son and a world-class striker in Harry Kane just adds to his threat in the Premier League, and from his time at Juventus, although it may not be showing the greatest of numbers, he reeks of potential. At 6th, I have someone that did not leave for the greatest of fees, but value for money comes to mind, and for £4 million, Juventus really got themselves one heck of a player in Dennis Sicario. a player I wanted at Manchester United, but the deal never went over the line, and for the money being paid, it cannot really backlash. At 25 years of age, his best years are ahead of him, and the reason he was so cheap was his reluctancy to extend his contract with Borussia Mönchengladbach, and it would have expired in 6 months' time. A player that is known to have a bit of an injury record, but no doubt the quality he will bring to Juventus' midfield will outweigh this. Bentancur also left the Turin, and Sicario as a replacement is definitely a suitable one. Breaking into the top half of my 10-man list, at 5th, I have a player that signed for the richest club in the world as of recent times. Newcastle managed to get their man, Bruno Guimaraes, for £33 million, and this was their marquee signing of the window. You would think there is more to come from them, but he is a player to keep, and at only 24, he promises to be at the heart of an up-and-coming Newcastle midfield for some time. Defensively minded, he doesn't mind going forward too, and the Brazilian international must be one of the steals of this window. His passing ability will come in handy, and playing alongside the brilliance of Saint Maximin, whoever plays at number 9 for the Tunes will definitely be getting service from now on. On to 4th place, and this one I think we can all agree on is a huge risk, but if it pays off, he could produce feats of sorcery. Yes, it's Philippe Coutinho to Aston Villa on loan with a £33 million buy option at the end of the season. Upon his arrival at Barcelona, his performances were lackluster to say the least, but the loan spell at Bayern Munich highlighted that he still has quality within him, as shown on his debut against Man United also. Gerrard played with him, and they have a connection that I believe will spark him back to being the magician he once was, as well as being a part of a very exciting Aston Villa project. In 3rd, we have a highly sought after man and the most expensive transfer of January in Tucson Vlahovic to Juventus. £67 million for the Serbian, as he rejected the move to Arsenal to play under Allegri and in the Champions League. 17 goals in 21 games this season. His stature and physique also shows exactly why he was worth that much. A prolific striker that is going to boost Juventus' attack, with them really missing that key number 9, but it seems like this is the solution. Vlahovic can score free kicks, headers, and has a knack for goal, and you can't see him stopping anytime soon. Could he send them deep into the Champions League too? The final 2 now, and I think you know who it's between, but both players are men of great quality and skill. This man in particular has a point to prove, so with that, in 2nd place, I have Anthony Martial to Sevilla on loan. Having been frozen out at Manchester United, he finally got his move to 2nd place to Sevilla, and what a move it was for him. Despite United's current forward options looking quite bleak, this wasn't to be known a week ago, and Martial wanted to play regular football to give him a chance to be called up for France in the 2022 World Cup. A man, when on his day, can be elite, as we have seen on several occasions, but one problem seems to be his position. We don't actually know what it is. Where does he play best, through the middle or on the left? It does not matter right now, as Sevilla will have 6 months to decide where to play him, bearing in mind they are in the Europa League and 4 points off league leaders Real Madrid. Can I dare say it? Could Martial help them complete what seems to be the impossible? In 1st place, you probably have realised by now that I have left one key signing out, and yes, it is the Colombian Luis Diaz to Liverpool for £37 million. 18 goal contributions in Liga NOS this season in 18 games, and you can argue that it is not as good as the Premier League, but he has 3 goal contributions in the UCL this season too, plus some very good performances in the previous seasons, including against a rampant Manchester City side last year. Turning an inconsistent player into a gargantuan is what Klopp does. Just look at the likes of Mohamed Salah, Mane and Jota, with the latter only being there for a year and a half so far. Already seeming like an efficient forward, you just know he is about to explode at Liverpool, with him being an excellent addition to an already threatening front line. Technically gifted, you just need to watch him to see how good he is, and as a Manchester United fan myself, it really is going to be a burden watching him succeed in future years. For only £37 million, the 25-year-old has many years to come and can only get better, maybe even help them this year catch up to a seemingly done and dusted title race. Those are my top 10, but let me know if I have missed out on any. Make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube video, and any suggestions that you may have, leave them down below. Who was the best signing, plus who was the worst? That's all from me, but until next time, goodbye.